Hi, I'm Julie from Thermomix, and today we're going to make a chocolate peppermint mousse. So this is a non-traditional mousse. We're not going to be making an egg yolk custard or whipping any egg whites. We're just going for a simple, fast made and fast to set mousse. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is mill some sugar. So I've just got 10 grams of white sugar, and we're going to make it into icing sugar. So that's just going to be 10 seconds and speed 9. Okay, let's just take a look. And there we have our milled sugar. So we're ready to add our cream. 600 grams of pouring cream. And we're adding a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So what we have here is a chantilly cream. So this is going to be used in the mousse, and we're going to reserve 100 grams or 150 grams for the topping as well. So we're just going to whip that. First of all, we're going to put our butterfly in. Okay, so pop the butterfly in the TM bowl. Put the lid on. Now, I've taken the MC out because I want to watch the cream, because the cream can turn into butter quite quickly. So I'm just going to rest it on there because it will splatter to start. Now, because the butterfly's in, we're only going to go to speed 4. We never go over speed 4 with the butterfly. Okay. So while that's running, I'm just going to take a little look in. So I'm watching this the whole time. Okay, so that took 24 seconds. Sometimes it'll take longer, sometimes it'll take less time. Depends on the freshness of the cream. But just let me show you what we have here. So that's the reason why I always have the MC out and just resting on it so I can look in straight away, because it's really easy to get distracted and to take the cream too far. Okay, so I've got 2 bowls here. I'm not going to weigh the cream. Just going to pop the butterfly out. And I'm going to reserve in this one enough for my toppings, and then whatever's left over will go in the mousse. Okay, much better. Okay, so there's my cream. One for the topping and one for the actual mousse. I'm just putting it aside. TM bowl, I'm not going to clean it. Ain't nobody got time for that. So the next thing we're going to do is we have our 250 grams of dark chocolate here. This is 45% cocoa solids. If you like a really bitter chocolate, you can use 70%, but I find that 45 is just a good in between. So popping that in the TM with my dirty lid, doesn't matter. And I'm going to chop this up so that it will heat quicker. So we're just going to pop this on to 5 seconds. Speed 9. And that's done. Oops, that's a nice mess in there. Lovely. 40 grams of butter. Nothing diet about this recipe, I can tell you. Okay, and 40 grams of water. And now we need to heat this. So we're going to put it on 6 minutes to speed 70. And it's just on spoon 1. And after that, I'm going to scrape it down and take a look. So in the meantime, I'll just clean up my mess. Okay, so while that's melting, I just want to show you a few things. Firstly, so do you recognise these? So these are the Thermomix yogurt pots, and there's a lid that goes on, and we use it when we ferment for yogurt in the Thermomix. Now these are also a great size for desserts. So I'm going to show you a few different glasses you can use for these desserts. So if I use the yogurt pots, I'll probably get about 12 desserts out of this mixture. Using this size, I get 8 desserts and 8 out of these. So it's a really, really rich mousse. And if you're worried about portion size, even this size with about that much mousse, bit of cream and that, is a really delicious dessert. So you don't need to make it a big dessert for this dish, because you will find it's quite rich. And these are just the perfect size. They're also really good if you're bringing a plate to a barbecue, because you can pop your mousse in, bit of cream, and your sprinkles, your peppermint crisp sprinkles. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. In up to here, and then just pop the lid on, and it's easy to transport. Or you could just put your mousse in up to there, and then add your cream and your peppermint crisps to the top once you got there. But yeah, I find these really good when you're taking a dessert somewhere and you want it to be kind of finger food, so it's not, yeah, it's nice and easy. I've actually got 2 boxes of these, so I've got 16. So when you do a dessert, even this mixture, if you were to go a little bit less on it, you could probably get 16 desserts out of this, just for a mouthful when it's a big bring a plate kind of barbecue type thing. Okay, so let's just have a quick look in here. Yeah, that's going on. So we've got 2 seconds to go. Okay, I'm going to scrape down the bowl. Okay, now we just want to take a look at this. So it's still kind of clumpy. There's still undissolved chocolate in there. And that's fine, because we don't want the mixture to become too hot, because the more we heat it, the longer we have to wait for it to cool to add our cream. So we're going to add in our 150 grams of marshmallows. So these baby marshmallows. Okay, so I'm going to put this on for another 3 minutes, and it will be 70 degrees, and we'll put it on probably speed 3, just so that we can whip it around while it's heating and allow the marshmallows to dissolve. Okay, so that's done. Oh, very good. let me show you. So that's all nice. Oh, all nice and smooth. Lovely. Okay, so we just need this to cool now because at the moment it's at 70 degrees, and if we put our whipped cream in it, the cream's going to separate into oil, and that's not going to be very good. So we'll just leave this to cool, and I'll clean up my chocolate mess, and I'll come back to you. So this is the peppermint crisp bar that we're going to put on the top to decorate. People always ask me what sort of chocolate I use. Now, when I'm making something like this, I usually use a good chocolate, like Cadbury's or something at the minimum. And this has got the 45% cocoa solids, as I said. And these are the little mini marshmallows. So these are also available at Woolworths as well, and I think they're in the baking aisle, but they could also be with the hot chocolate. We're adding peppermint to this to go with the peppermint crisps and to give the dark chocolate mousse a flavour that cuts through the sweetness. So this is Doterra, and you'll probably need about 5 or 6 drops of the Doterra oil. You can get that online. I'll provide a link to it. Otherwise, if you go to the baking section of Woolworths, you can find like some sort of peppermint essence or something like that. So you could use that, but I actually prefer the Doterra because it is an essential oil, an edible essential oil. Okay, so we'll leave that to cool, and then we'll put this together. Once our chocolate's cooled, it's time to add our cream to the Thermomix. Next we add the butterfly to the TM bowl and a few drops of our peppermint essential oil. Next we'll whisk for 20 seconds on speed 4. Once that's complete, it's time to place our mousse into our serving glasses. Carefully fill each of the glasses to about 3/4 of the way full. Next we add our reserve cream to a piping bag. Now I'm using a disposable piping bag, and I haven't worried about using a piping tip. I've simply cut the end off the bag. So we'll pipe little swirls of cream onto the top of each of the mousses. Finally, it's time to decorate our chocolate mousses with the broken up pieces of peppermint crisp bar. So we want to be a bit generous here, putting some bigger bits and some little sprinkles all over the tops of the mousse. And there we have it, our chocolate peppermint mousse, a very rich and decadent dessert that looks as good as it tastes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to join me on our Thermo Kitchen Facebook group. Happy cooking!